The lounge is silent, except for the sound of their shared, desperate breathing and the soft friction of skin against skin. Jimin's eyes flutter shut as he feels the tide rising, a tidal wave of release that threatens to wipe out every bit of his superior posture. Jungkook's grip on Jimin's hips becomes bruising, his entire frame tensing as he reaches his own limit. He buries his face in Jimin's shoulder, a muffled, guttural sound escaping him that is more honest than anything he's ever said in a boardroom. Jimin lets out a high, thin sound, a cry of victory and defeat all at once, as he spirals over the edge, his fingers digging into Jungkook's back, marking him forever as his own. As the frantic energy finally begins to ebb, Jungkook collapses forward, his weight pinning Jimin into the cushions. They stay like that for a long time, the silence of the lounge finally feeling heavy and earned. Jimin reaches up, his touch light as a feather, tracing the line of Jungkook's spine. 47 hours left, Jimin whispers, his voice thick with exhaustion and a dark, triumphant joy. Jungkook doesn't lift his head, but his arms tighten around Jimin, a silent acknowledgement. The audit is over for the night, but the takeover is only just getting started. The silence in the lounge is heavy, vibrating with the ghost of the intensity that just unfolded. Jungkook doesn't move for a long time, his face buried in the crook of Jimin's neck, his breathing finally slowing into a deep, ragged rhythm. Jimin lies beneath him, his chest heaving, staring up at the dim, recessed lights in the ceiling. He feels more like himself than he has in months, stripped of the air persona, stripped of the Playboy games, just raw and undeniably his asterisk. Jungkook finally shifts, bracing himself on his elbows to look down at Jimin. His eyes are still dark, but the feral edge has softened into something much more dangerous. Asterisk, asterisk, sincerity, asterisk, asterisk. He reaches out, his thumb tracing the swollen curve of Jimin's lower lip. You're a menace, Jimin, Jungkook whispers, his voice still a bit wrecked. I had a 5-year plan for this company. I think you just burned it in under 24 hours. Jimin lets out a soft, airy laugh, his fingers playing with the stray dark hairs on Jungkook's forehead. Plans are boring, manager. I'm giving you a vision, a very hands-on vision. Jimin pushes himself up, forcing Jungkook to sit back on the velvet. Even now, with his shirt ruined and his hair a disaster, Jimin carries himself with a terrifying level of confidence. He reaches for his discarded blazer on the floor, pulling a small, silver flask from the inner pocket. He takes a sip and offers it to Jungkook. To the merger, Jimin says, his eyes flashing with that superior glint. Jungkook takes the flask, his eyes never leaving Jimin's. He takes a drink, the sharp burn of the liquid grounding him. He realizes then that he doesn't want the old Jimin back, the one who pouted and played. He wants asterisk this asterisk one, the one who can look him in the eye and demand equality. Jungkook stands up, offering a hand to Jimin. As Jimin takes it, Jungkook pulls him up and flush against his chest one more time. Go back to your suite, Jungkook commands, though the tone is more of a protective request than a corporate order. Sleep, because at 10 a.m. we have a meeting with the overseas investors, and I need the boss's son to be sharp, focused, and absolutely untouchable. Jimin hums, his hands sliding up Jungkook's chest to fix the collar of his ruined shirt. Untouchable. I think we're a bit late for that, Kook. Untouchable to asterisk them asterisk. Jungkook clarifies, his grip tightening for a brief, possessive second. To the rest of the world, you're the untouchable heir. But in this room, he leans down, his lips grazing Jimin's ear. In this room, you're exactly where you belong. Jimin winks, stepping back and heading toward the door. He stops at the threshold, looking back over his shoulder at the man standing in the center of the ruined lounge. See you at 10 o'clock, Manager Jihyun, Jimin calls out, his voice returning to that effortless playboy lilt. Try not to miss me too much. It's bad for productivity. As the door clicks shut, Jungkook finally lets out the breath he was holding. He looks at the velvet sofa, then at his own trembling hands. He has 46 hours left. And for the first time in his career, he's not looking at the clock. He's looking at the door. Day 3, the 10 a.m. Investor Summit. The boardroom of the Seoul headquarters is a cathedral of cold marble and high-pressure negotiations. The overseas investors are already seated, stern, stone-faced men in charcoal suits, who expect nothing less than perfection. Jungkook is at the head of the table, the manager, persona back in full force. His suit is fresh, his cufflinks gleam, and his expression is a masterpiece of professional detachment. But his pulse is a different story. Then the heavy oak doors swing open. Jimin doesn't just enter, he arrives. He's dressed in a tailored cream suit that makes him glow against the dark wood of the room. Every strand of hair is in place, and his eyes are sharp, cold, and utterly commanding. He looks like a man who has never known a moment of surrender in his life. Gentlemen, Jimin says, his voice a smooth, executive silk, as he takes the seat directly opposite Jungkook. I believe we have a legacy to discuss. Throughout the meeting, the tension is a live wire. Under the table, out of sight of the investors, Jimin's foot slowly slides forward. He finds the toe of Jungkook's shoe and presses down, a silent, daring reminder of the night before. Jungkook doesn't flinch. He continues explaining the quarterly projections with a steady voice, but his hand grips his silver pen so hard it nearly snaps. Jimin leans back, a small, dangerous smirk playing on his lips as he catches Jungkook's gaze. He looks completely untouchable, but his eyes are screaming with the memory of the lounge. The meeting concludes with handshakes and signed contracts. As the investors file out, the air in the room shifts instantly. The second the door clicks shut, Jungkook stands up and walks the length of the table. He doesn't stop until he's looming over Jimin's chair. That was a very bold presentation, Mr. Park, Jungkook rasps, his voice a low vibration that echoes in the empty room. Jimin spins his chair around, looking up at Jungkook with a look of pure, unadulterated triumph. The investors loved it. Manager, the boss's son is a natural, but I think I deserve a performance bonus for staying so focused while you were staring at me like you wanted to eat me alive. Jungkook reaches down, his hands catching the armrests of Jimin's chair, caging him in. You think you're so clever, don't you? Playing the untouchable air in front of them, knowing I couldn't do a thing about it. I didn't say you couldn't do anything, Jimin whispers, his hand reaching up to grab Jungkook's tie. pulling him down until their noses touch. I just said you had to wait, and the wait is over. My father lands in 6 hours. Jungkook, this is the final audit. Jungkook doesn't waste another second. He hauls Jimin out of the chair and presses him back against the heavy oak boardroom table. The manager and the heir have one final deadline to meet, and neither of them intends to be late. 6 hours, Jungkook growls, his mouth finding Jimin's neck. I'm going to make every minute count. The boardroom table is cold, a stark contrast to the friction between them. Outside, the midday sun beats down on the glass, but inside, the heavy oak doors have sealed out the rest of the world. Jungkook's hands are firm on Jimin's waist, lifting him onto the table's edge, scattering the signed contracts and silver pens like they're nothing more than scrap